Hello. Welcome to another episode of Read With Me. This is your personal and financial freedom opportunity. We're here to read together. We're here to make sure that you're staying on top of what's going on in the world. And one of the tools that we're using to make sure that our mind is filled up with good information, financially, educationally, and wise is through the development of our mind, body, and soul, okay, and through reading books like these, okay. So if you want to check out the last video that we just posted, it's chapter 5 part 1, okay. We wanted to split up chapter 5 into 2 parts because in the first part he actually shares the 5 levels of different investors, okay. But then in the part 2 he actually goes into how to become a capitalist and then asking specific questions to understand which investor are you. So that's the key here. If you do not know what type of investor you are or at what level you are, then you are not aware of how to overcome a challenge or how to resolve something. And one of the many key takeaways that I got from the last chapter is he says that a level 3 investor is one that is just too busy for things, is too busy doing life and career and this and this and that. And they end up just giving their money, their hard-earned money, to someone else. Typically, it's like a financial advisor or someone that calls themselves a guru or someone that says that they can help them grow. But eventually, they're not in control. And then one of the things that he says, and it really hit home for me, was they have no experience except a bad experience. All they can do is blame their advisor, the market, or the government. It is hard to learn from one's mistakes if the person does not know what mistakes were made. That's the key thing. If you don't know what mistakes are made, then how will you be able to grow and get out of that? How will you be able to become a level 5 investor, for instance, in this scenario, right? So that's what we're going to get into, because chapter 5 of the Cashflow Quadrant is one of those chapters that allows you to just unlock the potential within you. And also it allows you to be real with yourself. I mean, Robert was taking shots at the level 1, the level 2. He was just at everybody. Don't be a level 3 either. Don't be too busy to set yourself up for success and your family. A level 4 investor is the ones that they just try to do it all themselves and they think that they're the smartest people in the room, versus the level 5 investor, they use other people's money and they use the smartest people in the room as teammates to gain a greater opportunity together. So figure out what you have to change if you are in all different types of categories, whether it's 1 through 4. If you're in one of those categories, how do you get to level 5? How do you go up from level 5? Okay. So I'm really excited to dive into part 2, chapter 5. And he starts off with something pretty strong. He says, starting with nothing. The reason I started this book with the story of Kim and me being homeless is to let readers know that not having money is not an excuse for not growing smarter, thinking bigger, and becoming richer. For most of my life, I have never had enough money. If I had let not having money be an excuse, I would never have become a capitalist. This is important because a true capitalist never has money. That is why they must know how to raise capital and use other people's money to make a lot of money for a lot of people. Keyword here. A true capitalist capitalist never has money. That is why they must know how to raise capital and use other people's money to make a lot of money for a lot of people. So they're not alone here. How to become a capitalist. My mom and dad wanted me to become successful in the E and S quadrants. My dad suggested I go to school, get my PhD, which he did himself, and work for the government or climb a corporate ladder in the E quadrant. My mom, a registered nurse, wanted me to become a medical doctor in the S quadrant. My rich dad suggested I become a capitalist. That meant I had to study the skills required for success in the B and I quadrants. Shout out to all my capitalists out there. My mom and dad believed in traditional schools such as colleges, law schools, and medical schools. They valued good grades, degrees, and credentials, such as a law degree or a medical license. My rich dad believed in education, but not the type of education found in traditional schools. Rather than go to school, my rich dad signed up for seminars and courses that improved his business and investing skills. He also took personal development courses. He was not interested in grades or credentials. He wanted real-life skills that gave him strength and operational skills in the B and I quadrants. When I was in high school, my rich dad often flew to Honolulu to attend seminars on entrepreneurship and investing. One day, when I told my poor dad that rich dad was going to a class on sales, my poor dad laughed. He could not understand why anyone would want to learn how to sell, especially if the class hours were not applied as credit to an advanced college degree. My poor dad also looked down upon my rich dad because my rich dad never finished high school. Because I had two dads with differing attitudes on education, I became aware that there is more than one type of education. Traditional schools are for those who want to be successful in the E and S quadrants. Another type of education is for those who want to be successful in the B and I quadrant. In 1973, I returned from Vietnam. It was the time for me to make up my mind about which dad I was going to follow. Was I going to follow in my poor dad's footsteps and go back to school to become an E or an S? Or take my dad's path, my rich dad's path, and become an B or an I, eventually to become a capitalist? Well, in 1973, my rich dad suggested I take classes on real estate investing. He said, if you want to be successful as a capitalist, you must know how to raise capital and how to use debt to make money. That year, I took a 3-day workshop on real estate investing. It was the start of my education into the world of capitalist. A few months later, after looking at over 100 properties, I purchased my first rental property on the island of Maui, using 100% debt financing and still putting $25 cash flow in my pocket each month. My real-life education had begun. I was learning to use other people's money to make money, a skill a true capitalist must know. In 1974, my contract with the Marine Corps was up, and I took a job with Xerox Corporation in Hawaii. Not because I wanted to climb the corporate ladder, but because Xerox had the best sales training program. Again, this was all part of my Rich Dad's educational program to train me to become a capitalist. By 1994, Kim and I were financially free, never needing a job or a company or a government retirement plan. Rich Dad was correct. My education could set me free, but not the education found in traditional schools. When the markets began to crash in 2007, rather than crash with the rest of the economy, our wealth skyrocketed. As the stock market and real estate markets crashed, great deals floated to the surface, and banks were more than eager to lend us millions of dollars to buy and take over their investments gone bad. In 2010 alone, Kim and I acquired over $87 million in real estate using loans from banks and pension funds. That year was our best year so far. As Rich Dad often said, if you are a true investor, it does not matter if the markets are up or if they're coming down. A true investor does well in any market condition. That's right. That's right. So, where are you? Take a moment and assess where you are today. Are you an investor level 1? If there is nothing in your asset column with no income coming in from your investments, and you have too many liabilities, then you are starting at the bottom level, ground zero. If you are deeply in bad debt, your best investment might be to get out of debt. There's nothing wrong with being deeply in debt unless you do nothing. After I lost my first business, I was nearly $1 million in debt. It took me almost 5 years to reach zero. In many ways, learning from my mistakes and taking responsibility for my mistakes was the best education I could have asked for. If I had not learned from my mistakes, I would not be where I am today. Kim and I put together a simple program and workbook, how we got out of bad debt, explaining the process we use to get out of hundreds of thousands of dollars of bad debt. It is a simple, almost painless process. All it takes is some discipline and willingness to learn. So that's level 1. Ask yourself those questions, okay? If there is nothing in your asset column with no income coming in from your investments and you have too many liabilities, then you are starting at the bottom level, ground zero. If you are currently at the bottom, ground level 1, congratulations. You have an awareness that many people don't. And if you are listening to this and you're like, you know what, I do have a lot of liabilities, I have a lot of debt, and I don't really have any assets right now. Well, congratulations. That is part of why you are here. Okay, let's take a look at level 2 and see how we can get you there. Or for those that are considered level 2, let's see if you're right about this. If you are a saver, be very careful, especially if you are saving money in a bank or in a retirement plan. In general, savers are losers. Saving is often a strategy for people who do not want to learn anything. You see, it takes no financial intelligence to save. You can train a monkey to save money. The risk in saving is that you learn little. And if your savings are wiped out either by a market decline or a devaluation of the money supply, you wind up without money and without education. Remember that the US dollar has lost 95% of its value since 1971. It will not take long to lose the rest of its value. As stated before, a person can even lose money saving gold if they buy gold at the wrong price. I suggest taking a few courses on investing, either in stocks or real estate, and see if anything interests you. If nothing interests you, then just keep on saving. Remember that the bond market is the biggest market in the world, simply because most people and businesses are savers, not investors. So this may sound strange to savers, but the bond market and banks need borrowers. So pretty much what he's saying is level 2 you are pretty much the guinea pig for all of this. Like, they really need you to put your hard-earned money into a savings account or wherever, so they can lend that out for people as investors to use, so they can get paid. So they love savers, but you're not getting anything out of it. You are literally just a guinea pig in this scenario. So if you are considered a level 2, don't worry. It's okay to be a guinea pig until you learn that you are really a lion and you're really able to just get out of there and friggin' dominate what you want. Take control of your life. So let's get out of level 2, okay? Let's ask yourself, are you a level 3? This level is similar to level 2, except that this level invests in riskier instruments such as stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, insurance, and exchange-traded funds. Again, the risk is with this level is that if everything is lost, the investor loses everything and learns nothing. If you are ready to move out of level 3 by investing in your financial education and taking control of your money, then level 4 is a good level for you. Okay, I'm glad he said it because he said it perfectly. If you are ready to move out of level 3 by investing in your financial education and taking control of your money, then level 4 is a good level for you. Are you at investor level 4? If you are here as a professional investor, congratulations. Very few people invest the time to learn and manage their own money. The key to success at level 4 is lifelong learning. Great teachers, great coaches, and like-minded friends. Level 4 investors take control of their life, knowing that their mistakes are their opportunities to learn and grow. The fear of investing does not frighten them. It challenges them. Okay, so in my personal opinion, I feel like level 4 is the beginning of you being woke. The beginning, and I feel a lot of our generation right now, like I feel like 90 babies and up, I feel like even 80 babies, you know, my baby's an 80 baby too, so, you know. I feel like that we're becoming so aware of what's really happening with the government and the printing of money and all the crazy stuff that's happening, okay? So we're conscious of it and we're aware of it, so we're constantly looking for ways to get out of it because we're doers, you know? We're going out there and doing it. So if you are a level 4, congratulations. I'm very, very excited for you. And most importantly, how can we get to level 5? Okay, he's about to get into, are you a level 5? To me, being a capitalist investor at level 5 is like being on top of the world. Literally, the world is your oyster. The world has no borders. In this world of high-speed technology, it is easier than ever to be a capitalist in the world of plenty. If you are at this level, keep learning and keep giving. Remember, the true capitalists are generous because a B quadrant capitalist knows you must give to receive. How about that? If you are at this level, keep learning and keep giving. Remember that a true capitalist are generous because a B quadrant capitalist knows you must give more to receive more. So he's about to end this and he's like, it's your choice. It's your choice. One great thing about freedom is the freedom to choose to live the life that you want to live. In 1973, at the age of 26, I knew I did not want to live my life the way my parents chose to live. I did not want to be living below my means, living paycheck to paycheck, trying to make ends meet. To me, this was not living. It may have been good for them, but I knew in my heart that it was not right for me. I also knew that going back to school for advanced degrees was not for me. I knew school did not make people rich because I grew up in a family of advanced degrees. Most of my uncles and aunts had master's degrees and a few had their doctorates. I did not want to climb a corporate ladder either in the E quadrant, nor did I want to be a very special specialist in the S quadrant. So I took the path less traveled and decided to become an entrepreneur and professional investor. I wanted the freedom to travel the world, do business, and invest. It was my choice. I do not recommend that path for everyone though, but I do recommend that a person chooses what path they want to get on. That is what freedom is, the power to choose. I encourage you to look at the 5 levels of investors and make your choice. Each level has its pros and cons, by the way, its advantages and disadvantages. Each level has a price greater than money. If you choose level 1, 2, or 3, there are many other people and organizations qualified to support your investment life at those levels 1, 2, and 3. In 1997, Kim and I created the Rich Dad Company to provide educational games, programs, and coaches for those individuals who seek to be level 4 and 5. So that's what he means. Like if you're currently in level 1, 2, and 3, he encourages you to seek out a mentor, seek out different tools and opportunities to learn to get to at least a level 4 or a level 5 investing level. A final word on investing. In the world of money, you will often see the term ROI, return on investment. Depending upon whom you talk to, ROI will vary. For example, if you talk to a banker, he or she may say, "We pay 3% interest on your money." For many people, this may sound good. If you talk to a financial planner, they may say you can expect a return on investment of 10% per year. To many people, a 10% return is exciting for most people. To most people, especially those in the E and S quadrants, the higher your return, the greater the risk. So the person accepting a 10% return already assumes that there is more risk in that investment than the 3% return from the bank. And there it is. Ironically, both the 3% return from the bank and the 10% return from the stock market are extremely high risk. The money is in the bank and there is risk due to inflation. Plus, higher risks or higher taxes are caused by banks printing money. So that 10% in the stock market is at risk due to the volatility caused by the HFT, which is a high frequency trading, and due to the novice investor investing without insurance. In my world, ROI stands for return on information. This means that the more information I have, the higher my returns and lower my risk is. I caution you because what I am about to say may sound insane or too good to be true, yet I assure you that it is true. In my world, the world of a level 4 and level 5 investor, an infinite return is expected, and with low risk. An infinite return means money for nothing. In other words, investors receive income without having any of their own money in the investment. In an earlier section, I wrote that I took a real estate course in 1973. After looking at over 100 investments, I purchased the condo in Maui using 100% financing, which means I used none of my own money. I put $25 each month into my pocket. That $25 was an infinite return on my investment since I had zero invested. I quote from that section, "My real life education had begun. I was learning to use other people's money to make money, which is a true skill of a true capitalist, and one that she must know." That whole thing is so good. I know $25 a month is not a lot of money, yet it was not the money that was important to me. It was learning a way of thinking, a way of processing information and producing a result. One of the reasons that I have so much money today is simply because I was educated and trained to think differently. If you have Rich Dad Poor Dad, you may recall the title in the first chapter is "The Rich Don't Work for Money." One of the reasons why those in the E and S quadrants have problems with that statement is because most went to school to learn to work for money. They did not go to school to learn how to have other people's money work for them. When Kim and I started the Rich Dad Poor Dad company, we borrowed $250,000 from investors. We paid the money back once the company was up and running. Today, the business has returned multi-millions of dollars, not only to Kim and me, but to companies and individuals associated with Rich Dad. As I said, capitalists are generous. My point is that the moment a person knows how to make money out of nothing, or with other people's money or a bank's money, they enter a different world. It's a world most exactly opposite from the E and S quadrants, which is the world of hard work, high taxes, and low returns on investment. The reason most people believe saving is smart and a 10% return in the stock market is simply due to a lack of financial education. Your best ROI is not a return on your investment, but a return on your information. This is why financial education is essential, especially for the uncertainty of the world ahead. Remember this about the word education. Education gives us the power to turn information into meaning. Education gives us the power to turn information into meaning. In the information age, we are drenched with financial information, yet without financial education, we cannot turn information into useful meaning for our lives. So in closing, I say that the I quadrant is the most important quadrant for your future. No matter what you do for a living, how well you do in the I quadrant will determine your future. In other words, if you make very little money in the E or S quadrant, financial education in the I quadrant is your ticket to freedom and financial security. For example, my sister is a Buddhist nun. She earned nearly zero in the S quadrant, yet she attends our investment courses and has steadily been increasing her financial education. Today, her future is bright because she stopped saving money in the bank and buying mutual funds and began investing in real estate and silver. In the 10 years between 2000 into 2010, she has made more money in the I quadrant than she could ever make as a nun in the S quadrant. I am so very proud of my sister. She may be a nun by profession, but she does not have to be a poor nun. I freaking love that. I love that so much. Before reading further, he goes, before we go on, here's the big question. Ask yourself this question. What level of investor are you? Take the time, pause this video, and go ask yourself that question. If you are truly sincere about getting wealthy quickly, read and reread the 5 levels. Each time I read the levels, I see a little of myself in all those levels. I recognize not only the strengths, but also the character flaws that hold me back. The way to great financial wealth is to strengthen your strengths and address your character flaws. And the way to do that is by first recognizing them rather than pretending that you're perfect. Let me just highlight that right there. We all want to think the best of ourselves. I've dreamed of being a level 5 capitalist for most of my life. I knew this was what I wanted to become from the moment my rich dad explained the similarities between a stock picker and a person who bets on horses. But after studying the different levels of this list, I could see the character flaws that held me back. I found character flaws in myself from level 4 that would often rear their ugly heads in times of pressure. The gambler in me was good, but it was also not so good. So with the guidance of Kim, my friends, and additional schooling, I began addressing my own character flaws and turning them into strengths. My effectiveness as a level 5 investor improved immediately. Although I do operate today as a level 5 investor, I continue to reread the 5 levels and working on myself to constantly improve myself. Dang. I love this one. You must first recognize your character flaws. Okay? Stop pretending that you're perfect. Recognize them character flaws so you can get great financial wealth and to strengthen your strengths. Strong. It's the truth. It's the truth. I know we were all born perfect, but over time there's lies that come into our minds, come into our life that we tend to believe. So it's our job, it's our responsibility, it's our duty to recognize those things and get rid of those lies. Wash them out, get rid of them. Protect your ears, your eyes, what information is coming to you. You're in control of that. True wealth is having options. So choose the right way of moving forward, okay? He goes into saying that the second question that you should ask yourself is, what level of investor do you want or need to be in the near future? So what do you want to be? If you're currently a level 1 and you want to get to a level 4, what do you have to do? If you are currently a level 2 and you want to get to a level 5, or if you're a level 4 and you want to get to a level 5, what character flaws, what type of skills are required for you to improve on, to mold and, mold into what you want? What are you willing to do to make that happen? What level of investor do you want to be? And who do you need to become that? And then he goes into warning. Anyone with the goal of becoming a level 5 investor must develop their skills first as a level 4 investor. A level 4 cannot be skipped on your path to level 5. Anyone who tries to do this is a really, they are just a level 3 investor, a gambler. Don't be a level 3, y'all. So risky. If your answer to question 2 is the same as if your answer to question number 2 is the same as that in question number 1, then you are where you want to be. If you are happy where you are as an investor, then there's not much need to read any further in this book. One of life's greatest joys is to be happy with where you are. So congratulations. However, if you still want and need to know more financially, and continue to be interested in pursuing your financial freedom, read on. The remaining chapters will focus primarily on the characteristics of someone in the B and I quadrants. In these chapters, you will learn how to move from the left side of the cash flow quadrant to the right side, and easily without any risk. So the shift from the left side to the right will continue to focus on intangible assets that make possible the tangible assets on the right side. So before going on, I have one last question. To go from homeless to millionaires in less than 10 years, what level of investor do you think Kim and I had to be? The answer is found in the next chapter, where I share some learning experiences from our personal journey to financial freedom. Ooh, that's going to be on fire. How freaking exciting. Okay, chapter 6 is fun to be lit. It's going to be lit. Okay, I love how he ended that, by the way. And I love that we went and we actually separated these two chapters, because it's so essential for us to just get clear on where we're at and where we want to go. You know, sometimes obviously you can be a level 3 as an investor, but you can also be a level 3 in life. You know, you're just so busy doing this and this and that you're just not really able to commit to learning and investing into yourself, and putting the hours, putting in the time, putting in the efforts, putting in the resources, putting in the actual, like, that true opportunity to grow. You know, don't be a level 3 investor. Like, just don't be. You know, there's so much more to life. That is literally my only wish right now. Like, I hope that you're not a level 3 investor, because that's so risky, not only like for yourself, obviously that's priority for you, but I'm also thinking of the next generation. You know, if you consider yourself a kind human being with a strong moral code, and you're able to be an example for people, then it's time for you to make a change. It's time for you to get out and stop being selfish and being a gambler. You know, like, people need you. People depend on your success so they can have a blueprint to follow. So don't be a gambler. Take control of your life, implement it, join the Billionaire Inner Circle, and we'll see you in there, because what we're teaching, what we're providing in the Billionaire Inner Circle are ways to get from a level 4 to a level 5. And while you're in that transition to go into the level 4 and level 5, then it's like, oh snap, life changes. You're in a whole different ballgame. You're completely changing your own life. And now people are seeing you from a different perspective and a different lens, because your attitude, your confidence has surpassed. That's what we're talking about here. You got to get surrounded by the right information to get you where you want to go. Ladies and gentlemen, the true wealthy people, okay, know that they have options. Understand that you are wealthy, you are created perfect, you have options. Choose your options correctly. I'm so excited for you. I'll see you in the next one, because I'm super, super pumped for chapter 6. I can't wait to find out what level of investor Kim and Robert had to be to get out of being homeless. What? Let's go. Talk to you soon, y'all. Have a blessed day ahead. Get some coffee.